Woo! What's up, baby?
We're back.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy as hell. What's going on, y'all? We're back for another episode, D2D Podcast. Last time we talked a little bit about the 5 to 9 grind. What are you doing outside of work that's going on? We talked a little bit about baseball, about track. I thought that was pretty dope. Tying that into there.
Yeah.
Talking about some life. And then we went into how it affects us in the job. What things that we do that actually are within that 5 to 9 grind. And now going into today, you're working hard and everything like that, but it's like, how are you, one, holding yourself accountable, holding your people accountable, as a leader, holding your people under you accountable, and as a peer, just holding your boys accountable, and like how you guys go about that, things like that. But just talking to you guys are more so hands-on with your peers. What's something that you realized, even for yourself, like being held accountable in the workplace, and then also holding your boys accountable? What results have you seen from it, and how have you done it?
I can say, like, for an example, because I'm not the person who likes to, I feel like my numbers and stuff have to be there for me to, say something or something like that, but I'm starting to get out of that. But I know I can say firsthand experience with Ev. I know Ev didn't used to like he liked to get a real good quality of doors knocked instead of quantity. And I told him, just knock on more doors, feel me? Opportunities is gonna come. And I feel like that was an example of holding, my guy accountable. I think he can attest to it. He's found, more a nice amount of success on the doors and more doors and knocks, bro.
Nah, for sure. And I think for me, it really all depends on who's holding me accountable as well. So I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think that plays a big part.
Yeah. You got, cause I hate being micromanaged. I ain't gonna lie. I hate that micromanage shit. Like, especially if I don't like you, I hate being micromanaged. Like that's number one. But it all really depends on who's holding me accountable. Like, if I like the person or I feel see that person value, I can learn something, then I don't mind them holding me accountable to an extent. But number one is who's actually holding you accountable. Who's actually holding you accountable. But to go, what was the second part of the question again?
I don't remember.
Oh, wow. It's bad now.
How you hold your peers accountable.
And, same thing.
What do you actually do to?
Same thing as what Chris was saying. I kind of struggle with that because the numbers aren't always there, so I'm still learning to get over that. But I walked with someone literally yesterday or a couple days ago, and she was just saying yo, you should speak your mind more because you give a lot of value that a lot of people that you don't understand you're giving. And so that kind of made me open up a little more and hold other people accountable and say she made me realize my mind was important. Why I think and why I do things is important. If I don't say it, I'm more of a detriment to the department because I'm not saying anything. I'm more valuable when I do say something. So even when I don't hold myself accountable or standard I think I should be at, I have other people. Sometimes they may actually hold me accountable. So I think that was big right there.
And I think as you realize too, as a better leader, when you're more ethically and politically just nicer and treat your people with care, you realize that your people will hold you accountable more. For me, every time I walk into the office and my face is straight and I'm not energy up, I immediately yo, what's wrong? I'm yo, bro, I can't even just groove into my days immediately. Yo, what's up? I'm you know what, you right. Let me get my act together. And there's little things like that, because it's you start your day with a smile, or you start your day without a smile. If you're not starting it the right way, and no one's telling you about it, you go the whole day with that. Next thing you know, the next day you come in like that. You don't even realize it, but accountability is so huge, and just doing that every single day. Mm-hmm. What's something right now that you guys are kind of working on outside of work that's big on accountability? I know we're doing a podcast, which is, we talked a little bit about how that's holding us accountable. But I'm just actually curious. What do you guys do outside of here?
I mean,
that helps hold you accountable?
for me, like I have my clothing brand that I work on, but just really diving into this really helps me accountable because it's just not. It's just even though this isn't my clothing brand, I kind of like want to give myself an out excuse. I was about to start not holding myself accountable. Like these two will hold me accountable. I was about to say, yo, like this podcast is getting a lot. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I can't really work on my brand, but it's really an out, right? And when you have people around you to hold you accountable, they don't give you an out. Cause right now you're filling your plate. Like you have to keep in mind, like this is what you asked for, this is what you wanted. So when like blessings come in your life, you don't disregard it. You just find a way to adapt and adjust. And I feel like that's how all great people, how all successful people move. There's stuff that gets on their plate and they adapt and they adjust and they see how they can work with other great people and them to build something special. So really just, I work with my clothing brand, but just doing this and just being around like-minded people to hold me accountable will really help me benefit in the long run. But
I know me personally, he guys clothing brand. Y'all need to go check that out too, man. Clothingbyintrovert.com.
Sir.
Check that out. But I like to do Forex, so that's my kind of thing. And I haven't had, anybody hold me accountable to it lately because I've been falling off personally with the job. And like Ev said, that's just the out. So I know I have to get better with that, but that's my hobby outside of door to door. What was the question again?
What you do outside of work that holds you accountable?
And get bitches. You know what I mean? Get bitches is one of them, man. My bad. Women get women, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, like, listen, brother, when I'm at, let me talk, man.
Just talk yourself out of this one.
Yeah, when I'm at the club or when you're on a work vacation, you seen something you lined up, you want to execute on that. I didn't execute on that, so that's something I want to work on. I want these two to, really hold me accountable to it. Him too over here.
Oh, you want me to hold you accountable to getting women?
Like, yo, why you ain't go push up on that, dog?
I want to ask you, why do you want me to do that?
Huh?
I want to ask you, why do you want me to do that?
Well, I can't,
I think balance with everything, what Chris is trying to say is balance comes with everything. Like you can't just be accountable in just your business or accountable in the work field. Like you need a healthy balance with any challenges that might arise or face or anything you want in life. So I think the pursuit of women and someone holds you accountable to find your wife or significant other, it's just a great balance to take you out of the grind and have a healthy lifestyle.
Nah, he said bitches.
I can find my wife, you know what I mean? Just, step outside and get active. It's all
Step outside in the snow.
Oh, you guys are idiots. I can't. I think another thing, so just like as upcoming leaders, things like that, you're gonna have to hold people accountable, right? And not only in the workplace, but just in your life. Like I think that plays a huge part where you're holding your boys accountable to doing their work. And I feel like a lot of times for the viewers, like I know you guys deal with, it's hard to hold your boys accountable because it's like that's your man. You don't want to tell him what to do, how to do it, but it's like he's falling off. So it's like, have y'all ever had to you guys hold each other accountable, like how you say it seems pretty well, but like have you ever had to hold someone else accountable and talk about how the difficulties of doing it if you did go through it?
Yeah, that's very big. As a matter of fact, they're gonna hate me. I just was with my family members yesterday, and we just had an event that we were all going out for our birthdays and everything like that, and we had a plan to be at dinner by a certain time and go bowling. And it was something small. But one of my family members came an hour late. And then they didn't even tell me that they were coming they weren't staying over my house, so they drove all the way from where they were, me thinking that they were going to stay over, and then that wasted another 35 minutes, and then we drove out from the place we were all the way go back up to like North Jersey, which was like an inconvenience. And I was trying to like tell both of them, like my other family member, we didn't even know they were coming until we were ready to head out, and it changed our whole dinner reservation and all that. So it's so crazy, and it's like a rocky relationship when you do it, because it's like a lot of these people, when you hold someone accountable, right? They usually deal with people that don't hold them accountable,
Right.
so they get away with a lot of things. Or when they deal with someone who actually values their time and holds other people accountable, they're like, hold on, like a robbery. What's all this? What's going on? Like, you're gonna do all this because I was late, or I didn't tell you this. Like, they become a whole victim. Like, you put a gun to their face, now they're a citizen. Like,
right.
No. You didn't do X, Y, and Z. Now you're mad at me because I held you accountable. Don't look at me like I'm the person committing the crime. So it's very hard in life, I think, to hold people accountable. But at the end of the day, like, the only way you can grow or win is, I feel like, being around like-minded people. So if the people that you hold accountable, they can't take and accept that, they're either gonna yeah, that's my fault, it won't happen again, how can I make this right? Or B, nah, fuck you, this is how I live, I'm a grown-ass man, I'm a grown-ass woman, don't talk.
That's just how I am.
Yeah, that's just how I am, and that's just who they are. And you see these people who, they can't be held accountable. It's probably like that in the other areas of their life as well too, when they're trying to start a business, or they're trying to pursue a goal, or they're trying to do something. They can't hold themselves accountable. So imagine you trying to hold them accountable, and they can't even hold themselves accountable, and then they start hating themselves, and then they're going to project that energy on you because you tried to hold them accountable. So that was a lot. That was definitely a lot, but that's real.
I know somebody like I used to talk to, like, we talk about, what do you say, like how hold them accountable, an example of that? That's what we were saying,
What did I say?
right? That's what you were saying?
Well, he's saying like how you hold people.
Like hold you, like a lot of times, like for your friends and stuff like that, it's weird holding your friend accountable,
Right.
because then you feel uncomfortable, and like talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, like somebody used to talk to, they weren't from the U.S. and they came over here. Well, Puerto Rico, the same thing. I was part of it, but they came over here. No friends, stuff like that, not really knowing anybody, and I feel like they were putting like everything on me. Like, you gotta make me happy. You gotta, do this, and that for me. And at the end of the day, like, that person is not responsible for your happiness, You gotta hold yourself like, what makes me happy? Yeah, your partner can, attribute to that, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, to make yourself happy. And I feel like that's an example I had with that, holding somebody accountable.
That's facts. I feel that. I feel a lot. I think, like, even growing up, I used to do that a lot. Like when I had my when I was in my first relationship, my first real relationship, I was so focused on like, oh, you're not making me happy, you're not making me happy, and I took no responsibility over the fact that's like, I didn't even know how to take responsibility over it. Like, what you mean? Like, I gotta fucking make myself happy. Like, that don't make sense. I'm with you, and it's crazy how crazy that sounds. Like, it sounds insane, but when you're in the moment, it's kind of like, what do you mean? Of course, like a girl or a guy is there to make you happy, stuff like that. But that's something I learned a lot with I was about to say her name. With my girl now. But that's something I learned a lot now. It's like, it really is up to me, and I really love the fact that in my relationship, it's like, what I think makes it thrive so much is the fact that even when I'm in a relationship, it don't feel like I'm always like we're on top of each other. Like we have our
God, and like
yeah.
each other 24. Like no.
Like even right now, I be playing the game, she reading her book, chilling. Like I be like, I go over there, check up on her, go like throw something at her, and then I run back. But it's like
Black.
but then I run back and it's just like, what the fuck was that? But just like checking up. But in the beginning, for me, it was like weird. Like it's kind of like, what do you mean? Like we kind of have to be on top of each other. But since she was so just like, she's okay with being alone. To me, I'm like, oh shit, like this is something I gotta learn. It's like being okay with being alone. And that in itself just held me accountable and it helped me learn myself, which is fire. But giving that space is huge, because you really do have to learn yourself.
100%.
And all that kind of stuff.
100%.
Yeah. But even as like a leader, now trying to manage like your people under you and stuff like that, like holding them accountable is huge, right? Like for instance, I'm not going for, like let's say for instance the office is like off or whatever the case may be, first people I'm going to are my people directly under, like my leaders. Like holding your leaders is so much more important to hold them accountable versus everyone else. Because not only everyone else, they're going to be looking up to the leaders. They're looking up to you too, but they look up to the first line. Facts. Now if you're not doing everything right, they're like, oh, okay, it's cool. He's nasty. He don't got to do this. So it's like, even though that guy's telling me to do this, and that, even though I know he's the best, I know he taught them this, and I know he did this, that they're fine. So I must not have to listen to do it. And it's like, it's so easy to do that, but as a leader, you have to hold everyone else, you have to hold your leader accountable. As a leader, you have to hold your leader under you accountable, so that way now he holds everyone else to a higher standard, the standard you need it to be. Or else everything's going to just destroy.
I think that's something we're starting to do right now as an office for Philly, because, you know what I mean, leaders, you know, we was going around, you know, fuck that, the script or whatever, you know, we do our own little jump, a little word or two here and there. I know for me personally, the word or two turned into like a whole fucking paragraph. So now, you know, having people hold me accountable, like, yo, nah, like, try to do it your way. Now you gotta do it this way. Now get back to the roots of it. So I think that's something we're doing right now.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I'm kind of stuck right now.
No, I mean, I really.
We got to cut that part, by the way.
Yeah.
This part right now.
This one?
Yeah. I just said I'm stuck, so that's like probably not something.
I thought you were saying the bitch part.
No. The bitch part's kind of funny.
But what I was thinking though,
Controversy.
well, it's like kind of a two-part question, right? How, for Devin, you specifically, what does it look like holding the people beneath you accountable? And then how long did it take you to build a relationship with those people in order for them to trust you, so they feel receptive to the information you're telling them, let them hold you accountable as well too. Let you hold them accountable.
You kind of got to start with that relationship. Like I feel like anytime you come in as like a figure of like authority, you have to come in very much like we're not friends. Like we can be, we're not friends right now, but I have things that we need to do. Like we have a common goal, and we need to get there. So it's like for me, I just give an example. When I first came into the office, like I laid it off rip. Like I come in, I'm like, hey guys, like, you know, I'd love to run a camp with you, this and that. I want you to know, since I'm gonna be here, I want to just lay the expectations down. You're gonna think I'm an asshole. Like you're gonna think I'm gonna be hard on you. You're gonna think that you're gonna hate me. You're not gonna like me at first. But I promise you, I'm gonna get you to exactly where you wanna be and where you need to be, because I'm gonna get you nasty. And like that in itself, it just resonates with people different, because now there's an expectation already created. So it's like you have to create the standard. So for anybody out there that's struggling with like with leadership and like it's like feeling rocky or anything like that, like you don't really know how to start, it's just like you have to lay expectations in the beginning of everything. You lay the expectations and then you don't back off them. Like for the first month of anything, like I did this when I was a teacher. My first month, I'm strict as fuck with everything. Like this is exactly how it goes to be. Over time, you kind of loosen up just a little bit because now everyone's on the same page. But you'll notice too, people gravitate toward you more because it's like, oh, I feel myself like I'm a part of something. Now they feel a part of something. That's when trust comes into play. Oh, this guy's not playing. Like he really means business. Okay, cool. It's time to be on my A game. Now they're on their A game, and now they want to get better. And now they're kind of coming toward you. But I think another huge thing is you have to be the example.
Right.
Like you can't just demand this out of somebody and not do it yourself.
Right.
And that doesn't, like, it just doesn't work. You could try it. You're just not going to see success because then your people don't trust you no more.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. It's like monkey see, monkey do. It's like they're going to do exactly what you teach them.
Right.
Or they're going to be like, I got to figure it out myself. And that never really works because then there's no structure. I think, but that was a good question. I like that. Does that answer that?
Yeah. I really wanted to really gauge in. You answered it.
Or-
My biggest thing was like letting people be receptive to the information, trusting it at the end of the day.
Yeah. They gotta tell you, you gotta be good. Like you can't be ass. Like imagine being trying to be a basketball coach, you never played basketball before, it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You gotta be good at it. They have to trust you. You gotta relate to them. And it don't gotta be like super relation, but I think to be a good leader, you gotta generally want to love your people, and want for them to get better, and not, you can't want it for you. You gotta want it for them, and in turn, like you could want it for you, but like you have to want them to be great, and in turn it will make you great.
Yeah.
Because you're working for someone else, and now it holds you accountable naturally to work 10 times harder. And I'm sure you guys feel that once you start van driving now, you're like, damn, like there's a different standard on me now. People are looking at me. I kind of can't slack as much as I did.
Yeah,
and you'll notice
sure.
performance start going up. Why is my performance up? Because my standard, my expectation is higher.
Sure.
It's huge. You want to chime in?
I really have nothing to say.
All right, cool.
So
Oh, that was
now what I was about to say is
that little part.
no, what I was about to say though, obviously, like, I'd say definitely as you grow in the company, you're yourself, alright, regular SDR rep, van driver, leader, mentor, manager, director, as the, like, what's it called?
Rankings.
Yeah, as the rankings increase, how do you know, like, what are your steps of accountability? Like, how much different, like, accountability you have to have as you grow in the company? Like, what I mean is that, like, obviously you have more responsibility, but, like, does your accountability value, like, waver even more? Or, like, obviously you have to hold other people more accountable, but, like, how much more would you say is on your plate after each and every time you grow?
How much more is on my plate? But what do you like? I think it's
Of holding people accountable.
Of holding people accountable. Obviously, as a whole,
I think it's just
like,
it's not
quick-
more. It's just different. I
One
feel
second,
like.
let me
Go
say
ahead.
something really quick. Boom, for you, right?
Mhm.
For you specifically, like, I think you, and not to toot your whole horn or anything like that, but you were in SDR sales, but you kind of knew you was that guy, even as an SDR rep or even as a sales guy. But like, people already kind of saw you as a leader. You didn't have to be a director or a mentor or anything yet. You just always like valued leadership. And then I guess I'd say for those other people, how do they know when they gotta start holding people accountable when they're not, I guess, like natural leaders, or when they know how to like step up and everything like that?
When does someone that's not a leader know when to step up?
Yeah, like how do they step up and start
Um,
holding other people accountable?
I think a lot of people don't step up because they don't feel like they can. So it's
Mhm.
like it's taking ownership of whatever you're doing. But it starts from another leader, like empowerment. Like let's just start from the basis of being an owner of a company. There's no one to hold accountable but yourself. You hold yourself accountable. Now you get someone, let's say you get your first employee, you're already empowered because you're like, okay, I know how I've been running this. I'm empowered to really guide you and help you. So for that next person, it's like, it's empowerment. So like, for instance, Chris, a couple of times what I did was I had him go to my camps, and I'd have him like write down things that he learned from it. I told him pay attention to this and that, and I want to see how you analyze it. But now with him analyzing, it makes him feel happy because no one else is doing it. Now the moment he goes to, like, I would have to do it more, but now he'll take a small portion of the camp. So he'll do like 25% of the camp, and then I'll do 75. So now he starts gaining empowerment throughout the whole process, and now next thing you know, he's taking it over. Now people are looking at him like, oh shit, just physically, like physically, you're standing in the spot of the previous person that was here, that was guiding us. There's an automatic like respect to it.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but that person gave you recognition. So like
Right.
that's kind of how the ladder starts climbing and things like that. But definitely empowerment, for sure. Like a lot of times I think people want to do more, but if you don't have someone that kind of pulls you up, it's like you feel weird, kind of like trying to like, hey, I want to do this, and then it's like, yeah, shut the fuck up. And now you just felt smaller.
Yeah.
Empowerment.